I'm not surprised where we are at because I saw it here and I obsessed about it here. And I know how the mind works, which means that I know that my mind will filter in every resource, every prospect, every potential client to help me accomplish everything that I want, because my mind is a weapon if I use it properly. I think sometimes we think that it's all about our skill set, and skill set is very, very important. We do got to improve our skill set. We do got to get better in that capacity. But what we really got to do is we really got to make sure that we allow our mind to work for us. Well, what do I mean by this? Okay. It's very important for you to understand how the mind works. If you want to become a great recruiter, then recruiting needs to become an obsession. It can't just be something you talk about. It can't just be something you do when it's convenient. Recruiting needs to become an obsession, because what dominates your thinking will determine the outcome of your life. Whatever you think about the most, you will move towards, and whatever you think about comes about. Your inner world creates your outer world. And so if your inner world creates your outer world and you are not obsessing about recruiting, then you are not going to experience recruiting in your outer world, because you're not even thinking about it in your inner world. Are we catching this? Okay. Well, fantastic. So now let's break down how to leverage your mind to become a magnet when it comes to recruiting. So this is the way that the mind works. So the mind has a conscious mind, and then there's a subconscious mind. Conscious mind means you are thinking about it. Subconscious mind is part of your unconscious mind that is rooted in your beliefs, what you stand for. So if you believe I love recruiting and recruiting loves me, if you believe that you are an amazing recruiter, if you are truly, genuinely obsessed with recruiting, where you have an emotional attachment to it, you are in love with it, you love everything about it, you love recruiting and have an emotional attachment to it, then what happens is it goes from your conscious mind, meaning that it's something you think about, it would be cool if it happened, to your unconscious mind, where now your subconscious mind will go to work to filter in what's required to validate that belief. Make sense? Okay. We all have something called an RAS, a reticular activating system. And what the RAS does, it's a part of your subconscious mind. And the goal of the RAS is to filter in everything that's required to validate your belief. And it filters everything else out that doesn't support your belief. So it's not just about what you want, it's about your belief. This is why we all consciously want more income. But then the moment we start to get close to it, we sabotage our own success. Well, why is that? Because subconsciously, you do not believe that you are deserving of it. So you sabotage the success as you get close to it. So when you become obsessed about recruiting, meaning it's not just something you're doing for a promotion, it's not just something you're doing because they said it's important, you recruit because you absolutely love it, then it goes from your conscious mind to your subconscious. And when it enters your subconscious, your RAS will now go to work to validate that belief. See how that works? Okay? Whatever becomes important to you enters your subconscious. If it is not important to you, it will just stay on your conscious here and there. But if it becomes important to you, it will enter your subconscious. Some of you will go into a coffee shop and you'll be sitting there and you'll hear somebody talking about their 401k. Do you want to know why? Because it's now important to you. Some of you could be sitting in that same seat in the restaurant and you don't even hear the 401k conversation. Do you know what conversation you hear? The one about how the person hates their job. Do you want to know why? Because you're a recruiter. Same seat in the restaurant. One hears the product conversation. One hears the recruiting opportunity. And based off what is more important to you and what you believe in more, your mind will filter in conversations that it didn't hear before. Are you catching this right now? That's the way the mind works. So if that's the way the mind works, notice that you can use your mind for anything. Can I say something that sounds really weird? My mind attracted me everything that I have. Everything. Because I believe all of it. I'm not surprised where we are at. because I saw it here and I obsessed about it here. And I know how the mind works, which means that I know that my mind will filter in every resource, every prospect, every potential client to help me accomplish everything that I want, because my mind is a weapon if I use it properly. And this applies not only to recruiting, I'm just tying it to recruiting. This applies to everything, your income. Next thing, get specific on the type of people you are looking for. Well, why is that so important? Well, it's going right back to what I just talked about. The way the mind works. Your mind doesn't know generics. So if you say, I'm going to recruit 5 people this month, fantastic. That's not specific enough. But if you say, I'm going for 5 bilingual women in their early 30s, I'm going for 3 people who have served our country that are over 6 feet tall, and you start to get specific. Now all of a sudden you're like, I want 5 bilingual women, and you're walking through the grocery store. And then you hear, hola, ¿cómo estás? And you're like, what? Where did that come from? You hear things that you didn't even hear before. Like, was that Spanish? Did I hear a ¿cómo está? Was there? Is that Tagalog somewhere going over? You're hearing things you didn't even hear because you got specific in your mind. And now your mind is looking for it. Versus if you just said, I'm going to recruit 5 people, you would have tuned out that person speaking Spanish. You would have tuned out that bilingual woman. Because it wasn't on your radar. It wasn't important to you. You didn't give your mind a target. Make sense? So we got to get specific on what we're looking for, right? Male, female, age, ethnicity, career background. Get specific on what you're looking for, and your mind will start to filter it in. Number 3, make it an affirmation, okay? I'm so happy and grateful that I recruit 4 directs every single month. I'm so happy and grateful that I recruit 25 people per month in my agency. I'm so happy and grateful that I love recruiting and recruiting loves me. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a recruiting magnet. I'm so happy and grateful that everyone says yes to me. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm the greatest recruiter of all time. I'm so happy, and you just start putting it out there as if you own it. Not, I hope one day to get 4 directs. I'm so happy and grateful that I am. Matt, why are you saying happy and grateful? Attach an emotion to it. When you have an emotion, it goes from your conscious to your subconscious. You guys hear me that? So instead of saying, I'm going to get 4 directs this month, say, I am so happy and grateful that I get 4 directs every single month. I'm so happy and grateful that everyone says yes to me. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a recruiting magnet. And you start to do this multiple times a day, you start to condition your mind. I want you to imagine your mind is like a desktop. And at any point in time, you can take what's on the desktop, you can drag it and drop it in the trash, and at any point in time, you can download new things to your desktop. So stop looking at your mind as if it's something that cannot be programmed, and start looking at your mind as a computer, because that's exactly what it is. You could program your mind to go in any direction, to think any thought, to do anything, and become anything you want it to become. So all of a sudden you create those affirmations. This is what I want you to do. I want you to get them laminated, and I want you to put them wherever you will be multiple times a day. For me, it was in the shower. I know every morning before I would go to the office, I would go to the shower. And I know every night I can't go to even get in my bed without taking a shower. So what I did is I took my laminate and I put it in the shower, because I knew every morning and every night I would end up there. I also knew that I would be driving to the office every day. So what did I do? I had it on the little speedometer. Most people are too cool for school. So what happens is because they're too cool for school, they just think in their, I'm just going to think my affirmations in my mind. It's not how it works. Do you know why? Because you can't think a thought and say something that's not in alignment with that thought at the same time. I want you to try to think a negative thought and say out loud how grateful you are for your family. Does that sound good? 3, 2, 1. I'm so grateful for my family. You can't think a negative thought and speak something positive at the same time. So when you were just trying to think, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a great recruiter, and you're trying to think that, the problem is the adversary knows you're trying to think that, and is going to snatch it right out of thin air. So you got to speak out loud to cancel the negative thoughts going on in your mind. Next thing, operate from a frequency of serving people. People pick up on your vibe. People pick up on your energy, okay? Have you ever met somebody? You're like, I don't know what it was. I just don't like them very much. Do you know why? Because you picked up on their thoughts. Every thought you think sends a vibration through your body, and that vibration puts off a vibe. So if you are thinking selfish thoughts, you're going to put off the vibe of selfishness. And those who are able to pay attention to the energy of those around them will pick up on that selfish desire, and they will begin to not trust you and not even know why they're not trusting you because you said all the right things. Okay? You don't even realize why. You're like, man, I don't know what it was. I just don't know what it is. No, I know exactly what it is. You're hearing their thoughts just without them speaking them out loud. All of a sudden, they have a selfish thing. I'm recruiting you for my promotion. I'm recruiting you to hit my target. I'm recruiting so I can sell you a policy and I can make some money. You're recruiting for selfish desires, and then people can pick up on your intentions not being pure, and then they don't trust you. So it's your ability to recruit. This is why I opened the call by saying this is the best. You got to sell yourself on why this is the best thing ever. Because I'm not recruiting to be profitable. I know that's a byproduct of it. I'm recruiting because I know I'm going to change your life. I don't care if you make a single penny. Like I do care if you make a penny, but I don't care if you make a penny because I know regardless, your life is changing being associated with our firm. I'm doing you a favor. You're not doing me a favor. I'm helping you. I'm changing your life. I don't know if you have the ability to change my life, but what I do know is I have the ability to change yours. And some of us are recruiting for selfish reasons, and then we wonder why we're putting off this negative vibe and why people don't want to be in business with us. Your intentions aren't pure. Another thing is, this is just a side note, one of the reasons people don't recruit is because they're people of integrity. And all the leaders are on here like, Matt, where are you going with this? If you're a person of integrity who believes in doing the right thing, and if you are a selfless human being, and you are recruiting for selfish gain, as you get closer to a recruiting opportunity, you will self-sabotage your own success because it doesn't align with your morals and values, because you're doing something for a selfish reason, even though you are naturally in your core a good person that doesn't believe in operating that way. You could be self-sabotaging your own success and you don't even know you're doing it. Number 5, don't give it away. Don't give it away, don't give it away, don't give it away. People want what they cannot have. How many of us think diamonds are more valuable than water? So if diamonds are more valuable than water, but you can live without diamonds and you can't live without water, correct? So why are diamonds more valuable than water when you can live without diamonds, but you can't live without water? It's because it's harder to get. It's the same reason when you turned on your shower this morning, you let it run for 30 seconds to get hot. Where if there was diamonds falling out for 30 seconds, you would be there with a bucket trying to catch every last one of them. Yes or yes? And so because something's more difficult to get, you place more value on it. Well, when you are giving away the opportunity and or you come across desperate or you come across as if you were trying to convince somebody to come on board with the firm, I mean, there's two things that happen. Number one, they're thinking to themselves, well, if it's so good, why are you trying to convince me? But then number two, people want what they can't have. So if you take it off the table, you say, listen, Daniel, I'm not even sure if I can get you an interview. I will do my very best. You seem like the type of person that could do well, but I don't even know if they'd be willing to sit down with you. But if I can get you a spot and I can get you on the calendar, do I have your commitment that you're going to show up early on a computer, dress sharp and be professional? Doesn't mean you have to necessarily move forward, nor I don't know if they'll move forward with you. But I just don't want to put my neck on the line only for you to make me look bad. Some of you guys are like, yeah, I can get you a recruiting interview tomorrow, right now, 3 minutes ago. I will call somebody right now and they can meet with you. You got desperation all over you. People want what they cannot have. Don't give it away, take it away. Next one, number 6. I only have 7. It's not about where you were at, it's about where you were going. You got to learn to communicate based off where you were going, not just communicate based off where you were at. And that is so important. Most people are talking about our business based off where they're at, not talking about the business based off where they're going to be. You need to speak to people as if you already make 7 figures. I'm not saying lie to them, but what I am saying is you need to have the confidence of, I'm going to make 7 figures here, so I'm going to communicate our business with the same level of confidence as a 7-figure earner here. I may not be earning it just yet. It just hasn't been direct deposited, but I will make 7 figures without any doubt, without any question. And so because I know I'm going to make 7 figures, I'm going to talk to you about our opportunity as if I do already. It's not about where I'm at. It's about where I'm going. Let me give you an example. I remember I was 19 years old. I come into this business and I was having a hard time getting my license. So it took me like 2 to 3 months before I was even able to earn income. And so now all of a sudden I finally get a license. And I'm sitting down with all these people doing recruiting interviews. And everybody at the end of the recruiting interview, they go, well, Matt, you look young. You just broke down the income. Are you earning this? And I was like, no, I haven't made any money yet. And nobody was moving forward with me in business. And so all of a sudden I went through my trainer. I said, trainer, I keep getting asked this question. What do I do? He said, this is what I want you to say. With what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures this year. And I said, are they? He said, if you're willing to put in the work necessary, they will. He said, never be afraid to throw out a big goal if you're willing to put in the work necessary to back it up. Because what most people think is an exaggeration is just your affirmation. If you're willing to put in the work necessary, throw out whatever goal and speak it into existence and act as if. I don't believe in fake it till you make it because there's no integrity in that. But I do believe in acting as if. And what I want you to do is tell everybody with what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures this year. And I said, all right. So I went into that recruiting interview. Do you know how much money I made that month? $238. And I made $238. And they said, how much are you making? I said, hey, with what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures this year. Do you know what I made the next month? Negative $238. That $238 charged back. I got an Uncle Charlie, not good at all. And that money came off the books. And they said, how much you make? And I said, with what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures this year. And then the next month I made $680. With what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures this year. Then I made $1,800. I took $1,000 of it. I got an office that was the size of a closet. I paid $500 for an assistant. I took $300. I invested into gas and peanut butter and jelly. And with what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures this year. Then it was $3,600. Then it was $4,700. Then it was 11 grand. Then it was 9,600. Then it was 23 grand. Then it was 19,600. Then it was 21. And it was just with what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures this year. And I ended up making 6 figures my first 12 months, 19, 20 years old in this business. But it didn't look like it when I was making 238. It didn't look like it when the 238 charged back. It didn't look like it at the 680. It didn't look like it. But thank goodness I just never stopped saying it. And my only fault in this situation is that I didn't say a bigger number. Like, man, I should have said $1 billion with what I got working. Okay? If that one came true, imagine, we would have been further ahead. But I didn't believe it when I started saying it, but eventually I started to believe it because I said it so much. Remember, it went from my conscious to my subconscious. It went from something that I was saying to something that I had an emotional attachment to and believed in. And when it became something that I was emotionally attached to and believed in, my mind started going to work to filter in the clients and the tools and the resources and the strategies and the scripts and the products in order to hit the target. And last but not least, number 7, talk about the vision and higher level. Can I tell you the least important subject in a recruiting interview and or when recruiting? The money. In fact, if you lead with money, they'll become skeptical. You got to make money the byproduct, not the product. The reason some people are so skeptical of you and they think you're a part of a thing, because you're talking to them about how much money they can make. Don't get me wrong. We have that conversation. I break it down, but I'm not leading with compensation. I'm leading with the things that actually matter. If you want to become a great recruiter, then you can't keep increasing people's skepticism radar, bar, whatever you want to call it, by talking about money, 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 money. Somebody say, how's everything going? Things have been incredible. They've been so incredible. What's been so incredible about working with the firm, it's like a family and everyone has each other's back. I just finally feel fulfilled. Right? I feel like I worked at a job for X amount of years and I wasn't fulfilled and I didn't feel like I was making a difference. And now I feel like I'm making a difference and I'm helping people and I'm contributing and I'm learning and I'm growing and it's awesome. And I don't know if I've had this much peace and happiness in a long time working anywhere. And then what's also cool is obviously it's the financial industry, so compensation tends to be, significantly higher. See the difference? How's everything going? Oh man, money is great. You already lost me. You already lost me. Does this make sense? Talk to people about the things that matter.
Break a sweat. Let's get it. 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 Yeah.